Tell us this. You are one of the small group of Muslim public intellectuals who decided we are going to engage as Muslims with the RSS. Your meeting with Mohan Bhagwat grabbed a lot of headlines. पर कभी खुल के ठीक तरह से बाहर नहीं आया कि हुआ क्या उस मीटिंग में. I want you to tell us first why you decided to do this.
Well, we decided to open up the channels of communication. We decided there's no point sitting quiet and sulking. We have to open up. And our detractors from the Muslim community who criticized us, saying that you are giving legitimacy to the RSS by talking to them, I said, no, you tell us the alternative. They had no other alternative. So I think the course we adopted was the best. We do not expect that the RSS will suddenly transform and become pro-Muslim. No, they won't. But the aim was to talk to them, understand their problems, and convey to them our problems. And I think, when we went there, the meeting was given. We found Bhagwatji in a very Spartan office. There was just plain furniture. He was bang on time to the second.
As a Fauji, you must have appreciated that.
I really appreciate. I appreciate a person who doesn't waste other people's time.
Yes.
And he told us his misgivings. His misgivings were, you all slaughter cows on the quiet. Okay. We said, I reminded him that the eating of beef was prohibited in AMU in 1920 by Sir Syed himself, because he said we have to look after the interests of the majority also. We should not annoy them. Then he said, you call us kafirs. So we said, you are people of the book.
Yeah.
And kafirs are people who don't have a book. So these were the two problems, which he said, which were annoying them, which was bothering them. We told us about the discrimination that was going on, the calls for genocide, openly done.
The hate speeches.
Which I'm afraid to say that they have not received the action which should be taken against people who ferment hate. That is our big problem which we face. So these matters were...
How did he respond when you
brought
up hate
speech? Well, he said, we will continue the dialogue. We assured him that we will make sure we'll pass on a message. Firstly, we said that convict the people, catch them, but we are against vigilante action. I mean, vigilante action is never permissible in a society. If a person breaks the law, take action against him. But what is very, very glaring is the inequity of justice. A person just has to utter a small word and he's convicted, punished for hate speech. A person who declares openly, I don't want to mention it, no action is taken. So I call it inequity of justice, which should be addressed immediately.
How did the RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat respond to your submission of hate speeches made against Muslims, of targeted action, targeted violence? Did he acknowledge that there is some sort of problem?
Well, he said that there are elements of this nature in both communities. These people are not under our control. This is what he said. But we told him that you've got a strong, the biggest social network in the country. And surely you can, put pressure on these people. So we are waiting for him to take some action. We have spoken out that we see very little change.
But there's been a second round of meetings.
There have been 2 meetings. Unfortunately, I could not attend the second one.
But you are part of the process.
I am very much part of the process. I believe that the dialogue must continue. We may not achieve very much, but at least we can keep the temperatures down, and that is our aim.
Tell our audience this, that, when people from your own community started calling you traitors, bhai aap to chale gaye RSS se milne, aap to right wing ho gaye, how did you feel?
No, I didn't ruffle my feathers at all, because I'm quite used to it. When before the Babri Masjid, when the judgment was being declared, I openly declared, let's give it.
Yeah.
And I said, I've got reasons. I said, firstly, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
The judgment will be against us. And I know, because I've been a judge myself in the Armed Forces Tribunal. I've studied American law and others, and I find that judges rarely go against widespread public opinion. Secondly, I said, even if you win, will you be able to reconstruct the mosque? They were quiet. But they did criticize me. So I'm quite used to criticism. It doesn't bother me as long as I know that the path I've taken is the path of truth and justice. I'm not concerned.
So in Ayodhya, you called for the Muslims to voluntarily, in a way...
This was prior to the judgment.
Before the court ruled in favor of the mandir at the site where the Babri Masjid once stood. Now there has been a call in some of your dialogues, this has come out in the public domain with the RSS, that Muslim groups should also give up rights over Kashi and Mathura. And that in turn, some of you have wondered, will it stop there? What are your thoughts on this?
I don't want to comment further on this. We've had a bad experience. We thought that after the Babri, the case would be over. But no, it'll keep. I know what's on the agenda. They will keep escalating because it wins them,
Well, let's see what happens in court. It is all
so
before,
it is sub
before the
judice,
court now. Yes.
And we do hope that the judgment will be fair and not under the pressure of public opinion.
I want to pick up something that the RSS chief said to you in the meeting, that there are these kind of extreme elements in both of our communities. And do you feel, that there is a problem of leadership in the Muslim community, in the sense that India's Muslims have sometimes been let down by their own? You have very, very sort of extreme representatives, and the kind of public proclamations they make. For example, this call for sort of beheadings, when the BJP spokeswoman Nupur Sharma was accused of insulting the Prophet and so on. We saw what happened in Udaipur, where actually violence was inflicted on a man for a Facebook post. Do you sometimes look at the history of modern India and feel India's Muslims have been let down by an absence of effective leadership or representation?
Yes, there is certainly a lack of effective leadership. And I've been saying so, that the Muslim need a think tank to examine every problem. The RSS has got a large number of think tanks. They think over 100 years. We think short term. And I would say that these crazy elements in the community are minuscule. They are, at the most, I say 10 or 12 of them who've been saying this, but it's blown out of all proportion. Look at the hundreds of people attending the rallies, calling for genocide and calling for action against the Muslim community at large. There are hundreds of them. So don't compare the two. I would say that the crazy elements in the Muslim community are bringing a bad name, but they are minuscule.
What was your impression of Mohan Bhagwat after meeting him?
I think he's an enlightened person. He's educated. He's cultured. And, the way you are treated when you go to his office, I thought it was, I have a lot of respect for that person. I also attended the book launch, which Khwaja Iftikhar, his book in last year. And there the issue came up. He says, you all are Hindus. Now, he pointed this out during our meeting. He
that
said,
all Indians are Hindus.
Acknowledge kariye. I said, Bhagwat Sahab.
And he said he means it as a geographical construct.
Yes. I said, Hindu describes a religion. If you say Hindustani Musalman, we got no quarrels. And you yourself acknowledged it during the book launch, that if you got a problem with calling yourself Hindu, call yourself Hindustani Musalman. मैंने कहा भारतीय मुसलमान ready के लिए हमें हिंदी के लिए. I mean, after all, when I was the defense attaché in Saudi Arabia, the Arabs called me Hindi.
Hindi from Hind.
Askari Safarat al-Hind. Or Hindi. An Indian is always called Hindi. We've got no problem with that. but we got a problem with Hindu. It denotes a particular religion which we are not subscribing to. We are subscribing to Hindustan, the land of our birth. And he sort of agreed with that. He agreed during the book launch by saying, if you got a problem with calling yourself a Hindu, call yourself a Hindustani Musalman. We gladly accept that.